of the goats have come up along the road they're nibbling on stuff. The pastures, even Ringo, look, there's Ringo. Ringo, way over there by that stump. Looking good, guys. Here's the bulls. The pastures look wonderful, though. That's all the winter grass. Don't go to the house. I'm not going to feed you all right. I'm not going to feed you anything. I'm not giving snacks. Oh, Lord. Just because I'm talking to them, they're going to all run like I'm, like, oh, man. Lenny, don't y'all run over there. You're running up there for nothing. You're running to the house for nothing. Stay here. And in case you're wondering, there's Finn and Starla over there. They will not stay in the pastures for anything. They're so small, they keep finding their way out. Oh, Lord. Hey, babies. Oh, boy. Let me go park real fast. That's kind of pretty. Look at all the leaves. We have to have a serious talk about you two. A serious talk. Let's walk over here a little bit. Y'all excuse the way the porch looks. We've not had a cleanup day around here in a while. Hey, sweetie. We've not really cleaned around here in a bit. I have things to do, and I found myself just consumed with doing things over at the new property, especially whenever little Gary showed up. We're going to talk about Starla and Finn. Now, of all of the goats that we've brought over from I'm a Survivor, there's Ringo right there, and Tilly, everyone's doing wonderful. Now, it's kind of a rainy day, so you're not going to catch the goats out doing what they do on most days. They don't like the rain, and they're going to always stay close to the shelter on rain days. But the goats are doing wonderful. I've not had to give them not an ounce of grain. They do have some green hay in the afternoons when I feed everybody else. But by day, they're going out across that pasture where you can see all that green ryegrass. Every couple of mornings, I walk them down to the back. I've not been going every morning because, like I said, I've been getting up and going over to the other property, getting jobs done. But every other day or so, we walk down to the back. You've seen those videos. And I will say that all 14, you heard me right, all 14 of those goats are doing great. But this over here is a problem. Guys, I don't know. I'm embarrassed to show you the things that Jamie and I have done or tried to do to keep them in, and we just can't do it. Finn and Starla, they're climbers. They born and raised right here in the yard. As a matter of fact, there used to be, you remember, there used to be a setup right over here where they spent their baby days, where they got their babas and they hung out with their human mommy and daddy, and they grew up right here. And this is the place that they still call home. The only problem is they're big goats now. They don't drink babas. Instead, they eat grass and grains, and they forage, and they eat their green hay. But they do not want to do it in the pasture. So what they do is find ways out. And whereas the other 14 goats, I guess they're big enough or fat enough where they can't get themselves out, these two over here are masters escape artists, y'all. They are escape artists. Now, I'm going to point out a couple of locations to you, and I've done this in a video a while back, but I'll do it again. There's a cinder block under that bottom corral board. There's also a cinder block under that gate. There's an entire line of cinder blocks under that gate. There's also a cinder block, you can barely see it, behind the tree towards the ground. Those are the known locations where Huck, oh, did I call him Huck? Where Mr. Finn and Miss Starla keep getting out. And even though I can watch them get out, and I will go immediately and patch that area, an hour later they're out somewhere else. And I just don't know what to keep doing. Guys, I cannot go through an entire pallet of cinder blocks encircling the entire fence line. Come on, people don't do that. And then there's more. Look down this fence line. Look down the fence line at the bottom, right around my gate, 2 cinder blocks. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 10 cinder blocks, friends, that I've had to get out of the cinder block stack and use to keep these 2 in. And right now, you're saying, Lester, what does it matter? Okay, well, here's an example. They're going to chew this wire. That's the brake system. This is the braking system for the RV. That's what makes the brakes work. You do need, and so, oh my gosh, now they're chewing on electrical wires, which makes the lights work and the tail lights. You just cannot have goats running around your yard. If you're thinking it's only because of Jamie's pretty plants and Jamie's garden and Jamie's greenhouse, yes, those are reasons. But they're also, goats will chew up everything. They will chew up everything. We have to find a way to put a stop to it. Do y'all remember, this is a couple of years ago, when we got our very first tractor, after the tractor after Hurricane Harvey? I had one before Harvey that flooded. But we went for about 2 years before we got our first farm tractor post-Harvey. And your tractors, you have to take them in the first tractor servicing happens at 50 hours. That's when you take it in the first time, and they'll go do it the once over and take all the, 50-hour servicing. And so after 50 hours, only 50 hours of having a brand new tractor, I took it in and we dropped it off. And when I went to pick it up, the fella who serves it, he says, "Hey, do y'all have a lot of squirrels that live in your area?" Now, at that time, we were in Plum Grove at the I'm a Survivor property. And I'm like, no, I mean, there's an occasional squirrel here and there. He goes, "How about mice or rats out in your barn?" And I'm like, no, sir. We keep barn cats for that reason. I says, "Why?" He goes, "I want to show you something." And so he walked over with me to the tractor, and he lifted up the hood where we kind of looked down into there. And guys, all of the wires had been chewed on. Now, at that point, they had not chewed all the way through anything, but all of the wiring had been chewed on. And I was so embarrassed. Not only were the wires chewed on, but also all of the insulation, all of the little rubber seal around the bottom that keeps the water from, going into the engine. All of that had been chewed up and chewed off. And I says, "Bud," I said, "I think that might be from my goats." That's when we had Mr. Huck and little Shirley Bird as babies. And they lived outside of the pasture. And they were able to pretty much go wherever they wanted to go. Just like these two. And they literally, at that point, it didn't cost me anything. Just, I became aware of the damages that goats could do. But as much as you love them, this is a problem. And so I'm going to ask you right now. Here we go. A lot of people have commented about how excited they are that we have the goats back at Longhorn Lester's. Through the wintertime, where the goats can still find stuff to eat, they're not as dependent and needy for grains. I think that for the well-being of these two, I'm going to ask your thoughts on taking them back to I'm a Survivor. Because at I'm a Survivor, at least they never got out. They stayed in the pastures. Ellie and Megan, with only having I think they have 6 goats over there now. This would make them 8. So it's not like these two here are going to, overpopulate their pastures. But I think it would be the best thing to do, because these two are going to get themselves into trouble. They're going to tear something up that's going to cost us an arm and a leg to fix. They're going to continue to get out. They're going to find themselves on our couches every night, which puts them in harm's way of any kind of predator issues. And I worry about them. Now, you're not going to sit there and say, that means you don't love them, Lester. Guys, I do love them. But I have to also make an adult decision that's going to be in the best interest of everybody. And I don't know what else to do to keep them in. So in saying so, I just hope that you can be reasonable in your comments. Talk to me. Let's talk to each other. And let's not make it about you don't love and you're mean, because y'all know that's not true. But I don't know what else to do. Oh, and one thing that we're not going to do not say you need to put chicken wire around all of your fences. Guys, we're not going to do that. That makes no logical or rational sense. It's always the number one comment. Anytime you see a goat with its head stuck in the fence, or a goat who gets out of the fence, the number one comment is, you need to put chicken wire around the bottom of your fences. We're not going to do that. I don't think that you guys understand that when you have, this is only a 10-acre pasture, but with all of the fencing, you don't run chicken wire for 10 acres, friends. No one does that. You use chicken wire in small areas. You don't run 10 acres of chicken wire, okay? You don't. You don't. Anyway, please help. What do we do? What do we do? Oh, don't make that face at me, Mr. Finn. Mr. Finney, don't make that face at Daddy. Starla, don't look at me like that, sweetie. Please. I do love y'all. Notice, in none of my complaints about them being out, did I ever mention the fact that they jump onto the furniture and they poop everywhere. I never mentioned that, because to me, it's a simple matter of just brushing it off, just shaking it off, okay? And it's all over the floor, but don't worry, I can just blow it right off. But they get into everything. They run inside the house. They run inside the shop. They chew. They do that right there. Y'all are into everything, babies. Y'all are into everything. Yeah. They only want to be close to Daddy. They do want to be so close to Daddy. I love them. But though they are hard. Well, thank y'all for taking the time to listen today. Just taking the time to listen. And I would be more than happy to read every single one of your comments. But just sometimes change your perspective and your point of view. And see it from our angle. See it from our angle. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll let you go. Baby, are you so sad that I made a video about you showing a negative? Look at her. I've hurt her feeling so bad. People are going to be sweet. They're not going to be mean. They're not going to be mean, baby. No, they're not. I promise people are going to be sweet because they love you, Starla. And I love you, Finn. Daddy loves you so much. I do. But y'all just can't keep getting out. Oh my gosh, baby. How do I tell you no? Oh, and don't say that if they go to I'm a Survivor, I'm never going to see them. Because I'm over there at least every other day. I'm over there every Saturday and every Sunday. Those are my 2 days to work at I'm a Survivor. Me and Jamie work there every Saturday and every Sunday. We do all of the chores on the weekend. I'm also there at least a day or two during the week. Getting mail, getting packages, checking up on stuff. Okay, so don't think that I'm never over it. I'm a Survivor. It's true. I do spend a lot of time at the new property and here, but I will see them, y'all. I do. All right, I will let y'all go now. Y'all have seen about enough Starla and Finn for one video. But they do love their daddy, and daddy do loves them. Baby, you trying to help me or hurt me?
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.